All right, we're here. That was also my computer that got mad. uh, Shit. Nope, I can hear myself double. Okay. Okay. We should be good now. Yeah, I was auto-tuned for a second there. My program was doing a full like, here's everything that you just added for having the thing. And I was like, thanks, I don't need that, I already know. Oh, for fuck's sakes, hang on. Upside down. I'm upside down, I know. Give me a sec. Deactivate. And that's... Fucking everything's broken. Everything's fucked up. Okay. We're here. Hello. How's it going? We're here, we're alive, I'm hot, I'm sweaty. It's gross. Sorry, I was taking a shower before stream, and I went late. How are people doing? Why was I upside down? Because of the Gundam camera. It's the same camera, like the camera that is right here. It's the same one I use for the Gundam streams. It's just I have it so that you can point the camera down. Oh, there's my pants. So that's when I forget to undo that, then I have to go onto that scene and fix it again. But we're here. Please bring back the auto-tune. I don't even know what voice that was. For those of you who don't know, I wrote my audio through a voice changer mod, or a voice changer program called Voice Mod. So I can do stuff like this, which is what I sound like when I play Arma, because I have a clone trooper helmet on. So it makes me sound like I'm like when the stormtroopers talk in Star Wars. This is the effect they have. And also like when we're doing D&D, Star Wars D&D, and someone comes in on the holocom, they sound like they're coming through a radio. Ah, fun, dramatic. Anyways. So that's rigged through this, which we did stream Arma for a while, so you could hear the helmet voice, but I stopped streaming Arma because nobody cared. Should you use this for the voices in the game? Honestly, I would consider it. That's a lot of testing to go through and figure out what voices sound good, and trying to figure out like what is acceptable, because that's gonna be a lot. They did just add a shit ton of voices that just looked like regular people. I don't know what these are like. I would have to go and test them. Anyways, we're back. So we're playing Mortar. I'm already sweating. It's so fucking hot right now. How hot is it? I'm already sweating in my chair. I thought about not doing the stream because I was like, God, it's really hot and humid. I don't think it's like 30 degrees, but it feels like, yeah, about 26 degrees currently, and humidity is 80%. Dope. I love that. God, I can't wait for it to rain like all week next week. Or this week, sorry. It should start tomorrow on Tuesday and then not stop raining until apparently Saturday, which I cannot wait for, because it'll finally cool off. 170... It's 107 Fahrenheit here. I don't know how hot that is in Celsius, because I don't use freedom units. But it sounds hot and miserable. So I apologize that you live there. Live somewhere else if possible, and if not, I'm sorry. 41.6. That's hell. Yeah, that's bad. I think I would melt. Mind you, you have AC, which does help. But that's still not good. Oh, Human Fall Flat just turned 7. Apparently the game came out 7 years ago. Fun. The new level port will come to Steam in August. That's cool. There's a lot of community levels for this. We really should play this for Wednesdays. I don't know if everyone will spot it though. 24 Canadian here. Human Fall Flat 2 is in the works. Ooh, would you like to fall flat with me? We did consider playing it on Wednesdays for the multiplayer day, so maybe maybe we'll get that going at some point after, I don't know, Diablo 2. I don't know what we're doing after Diablo 2, but Diablo 2 is going to take a while, so I think we're good there for a while. Let me get the game started. That's kind of important. Alright. And I have to move my camera over to here-ish, I think. Just make it a chatting stream. I've considered doing that. I feel like we've done what few just chatting streams we've done, I think we made them fairly successful. They were pretty fun. I mean, that's what basically the Gunpla stream is, so works out. But I mean, yeah, I mean, like we did the stream where we just worked on the homebrew for a while. That was fun. And successful and productive. Mini Metro just turned 10 apparently. I don't know that game. All right, let's go ahead and just get into this. We're starting late, so mind you, given the amount of time it's taken to beat Sonic Adventure chapters, maybe it's for the best.
The grand end of the century great exhibition of
Training game but minimal.
Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it. Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park,
Let me guess, someone gets murdered.
welcoming over 50 million visitors. The last great hurrah of this century. Astonished and delighted
I
people
could make eggs, but I don't know if I
of all
want eggs
nations
without bagel,
and
so it's such a
ended
killer
on
combo.
note
It is good.
of resounding success.
I like scrambled eggs on the run. Why is it always murder?
As regards
What's funny is that there's been, like, I think 2 fake outs
that occurred during
in the series where, like, you get a case that
If you were
isn't
aware,
murder,
my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had
and then it turns into a murder case, and it's like, motherfucker!
from
It's happened, I think, in Trials and Tribulations and Spirit of Justice, like every 3 games.
Unearthed the facts of the case.
Give me an Ace Attorney game where I'm a civil lawyer or a contract lawyer.
High into the skies of Hyde Park. Sholmes's brilliant deductions.
Scrambled
as
eggs, but on
clear and
bagel?
lofty as the crystal tower
Do you
itself
have
the
ketchup
truth
with your
to
scrambled
light.
eggs? Because I do. I barely caught any of that, but I don't think any of it really mattered. So I'm sure it's fine.
We're here at the showground of the great
I think this is the actual important
which
part.
is absolutely packed with people.
Yep. That up slightly. Gotta just gonna make room for that name, so it's about here. Basically, also goop, really finely curdled with goat cheese and chives, and without ketchup. But I don't think I actually like ketchup. That's fair. It's not for everyone. I like it that way. I don't really like goopy eggs, though. I will say that. A suspect game. You're just a dude living in the A universe. You just have to try and stay out of bad situations. Given how many times that fucking Maya has been accused of murder, that's got to be really hard. That's like a survival horror game. Yeah, I imagine the texture's mostly coming from the goat cheese. That makes sense.
The weather is unusually fine, and we're about
Yeah,
to
don't be
witness
Larry
the most
Butts either.
Extraordinary scientific experiment.
Oh. Oh, look at these fucking
Ladies and
people.
gentlemen, the 20th century will see
Look at this dude in the back,
steam engines
Jesus.
and electrical power
I'm like
dominate the
covering
world.
up him slightly. Look at that dapper man.
Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the
Yeah, don't be
stars.
like half the characters in the series. Mind you, it seems like the entirety of Ace Attorney takes place with like the same cast over and over. It's just like, it's just the series of the most accident and like suspicion-prone people in the galaxy.
And today, we showcase
I don't know
the
what English
world's
accent this guy has. I feel like it's changed 3 times.
A world first, a demonstration demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine!
Oh god, is this dude gonna try and teleport and get fucking, like, telefragged? Yikes. Oh, this is not good.
A man will literally be disassembled by a pulse of high voltage electricity and beamed to another location.
Yeah, getting disassembled by high voltage electricity, not that hard. It's the second part that is
Whereupon
the
his
issue.
body will be reassembled by a series of complex
American attempting a British accent? Yeah. Is this the victim? Sure is. Oh, you poor bastard. Alright. Suddenly strapped.
In but a few moments from now, this gentleman will, in the blink
Let's
of an
try
eye,
to be an even more
complete
dapper
incredible
man.
journey through the air. To
I do
arrive
like
at the
formal
Instigator
wear.
on the Crystal Tower
I like how it
behind
looks. I don't like wearing it though. Oh boy. It's just gonna be a fucking spray of blood. Oh, that doesn't look right. I'm sure he's fine. 22nd of October, 9:36 a.m. Sholmes' suite. Am I gonna have to voice Iris again? Runa, are you listening? Oh, sorry, what was that, Iris? What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning. Didn't you like what I cooked for breakfast? Oh, no, that's not it at all. What were we talking about again? Speaking of October, guess what I copped from the store today? What did you cop? I assume that means you paid for it. Hopefully. Today's paper. It's full of news about the Great Exhibition again. We have the pumpkin creamer. It's officially spooky time. Fucking. It's July. We got a hot minute before it's spooky time. September at least, all right? Ah, yes, the Great Exhibition. I'd like to go sometime. That reminds me, there was also a sale on FF14. Oh, my webcam has to go even higher. And I picked up a bunch of, I picked up the Ranger Poses emotes, and the Splash emote, and the Snap emote, and the new emote they just added. And they look really cool. And they have no real effect, but I like them. They're truly to make some skeletons. Fair enough. You're really not your usual self today. You seem very down. Don't you agree, Hurley? Oh, Jesus. Did you say something? Iris? Oh gosh, you're even more down. Oh, when did you arrive, Mr. Naruhodo? I've been here for about half an hour already. We had breakfast together. Jones could be depressed, not just stupid. I don't think so, as I'm sure about to find out. What? Why didn't you mention it before? I, thought you might have known I was here. You know, because... breakfast? Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim. So much so that I didn't notice your presence. Thanks. Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observations. What? Let's see. Yes, for example, your tousled hair this morning, with all its unruly spikes. Clearly, it can be deduced, therefore, that... let me stop you there, Mr. Sholmes, because I think I can see where this is going. My hair always looks like this. It always has. Ever since we first met, in fact. Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose. His boyfriend said he has so little riz, he has no presence. This is an unhealthy relationship. He's such a himbo. He is pretty fun, I like him. Thanks again. It crossed my mind recently that it's been 6 months now 6 months. Since I was forbidden from working in court. Why was that again? That was a plot point in the first game that I forgot about. They might be about to explain it to me. A drink with some ice in it, and it is not enough. It's the only time I'll ever say those two things in the same breath. Fair enough. I've been wondering how much longer I'm going to be banned.
Oh, well, that would explain why you seem rather glum. Don't you agree, Hurley?
But again.
Did you say something, Iris?
Ah, back to moping. What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes today? I searched why Rinosuke, and the first suggestion was why is Rinosuke banned from court? Okay, there you go. Read it at your discretion. If it's a spoiler, and if they don't tell me. If it's a spoiler, don't tell me. If it hasn't come up before. And if it's not, then tell me if they don't tell me. Seems even more down in the dumps than me. Yes, thank you, Toaster. You know what's up. You've been here. You know the score.
I know, and the great exhibition is opened. You think he'd be excited?
It's banned from court for having a boyfriend? I mean, that would do it. I would be surprised he has not been killed yet, if he was gay. Because that's typically what happens. At least in this time period. And still, sometimes.
Oh, why don't we all go see it together? I want to, of course I do, but I can't. Not for the time being.
Why not?
Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all.
So you're embroiled in some tricky case that you can't be distracted from, is that it?
I don't remember hearing that you're working on a case, Hurley.
I suppose I should try to find out what's going on. Alright, I think this is the... Here's why he was banned. Half a year ago now. I took on the defense of a young girl on a trial heard at the Old Bailey. Okay, so this was the final case of one that I just forgot about when we defended Gina Lestrade. What at first seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at a London pawnbrokery turned out to be one part of a much more far-reaching plot that involved the British government. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable yet at the same time unforgivable mistake.
Words fail me. This situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, my lord.
I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial.
Of course, my lord. Okay. So was that something to do with like the secrets being traded between British and Japan or something like that? In the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked. I was told I had to spend my time in research and study, so that's what I've been doing.
You have, haven't you, Bruno? Reading all those big fat tomes about British law up in your room with Sholmes and the big fat tomes you both have. And, what were we talking about? And the notes about Sholmes' old cases.
I can tell if it was ever actually explained based on what I'm reading, either in 1 or later in 2. It was clearly something I did in the last case of the first game. I just don't know what specifically it was.
Bring Iris' special blends of tea, fetching my dearly bread for me. You've become something of a manservant around here. Start on the silverware next, Master Naruhodo.
Well, I'm thinking of going to ask the powers that be to reconsider. Specifically Lord Strongheart at the British Supreme Court on Whitehall.
Lord Strongheart? Ah, the delightful Lord Chief Justice. Not my favorite fellow.
He's not mine either, but he's the man I have to talk to. Looks to have been from Case 3 of Game 1. Case 3? Oh, shit. Which one was that one? He's the only one who can grant permission for me to start working in the courts again. I came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could. And I can't do that just sitting around here. Okay. The whole of London has been swept up in this great exhibition, hasn't it?
The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest works of art and feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things, and the world will be watching. I have a speech impediment. Don't make fun of me. Oh, do you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to look down on London from one of those lovely balloons.
Look down on? Do you mean those things fly?
Yes, of course. They fly high in the sky and don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air.
But how? How does hot air have anything to do with flying? It makes no sense. It's ungodly. It's the work of the devil, Iris. You know that. How dare you? I can't understand it at all.
They fly until I shoot them with this gun. That's true of a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first. But in 100 years' time, all these things will just be common knowledge.
I suppose they might be.
Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong on the open experimentation stage yesterday, apparently. There was a huge explosion. Still, I wish I'd seen it, though. I'd love to see how bad some of those scam experiments really are.
Says the innocent 10-year-old girl.
See here, every page of this paper carries some article or other about the Great Exhibition. But the brighter things shine, the darker the shadows that are cast behind them. Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable. That is my proper atmosphere. Nothing personnel, kid.
Alright, cool. Shadows cast behind. Is that a metaphorical way of referring to the back page of the paper? Alright. Whoop. Oh! Fucking Van Zeek's got run up on? So many glowing reports about the Great Exhibition and everything that's going on there. Other than this rather gloomy looking one, that is.
Wait, what? What's the matter, Bruno?
Who is this guy? This guy looks like a fucking D&D character. Yo, I'm playing him next. Little Ranger Rogue multiclass. The Reaper attacked. That's Lord Van Zeeks. This must be what Mr. Sholmes was talking about. Does he know any more, I wonder? He does have a masquerade mask. And a rapier. And I think Van Zeeks also has one? Oops. Get to that in a sec. Are you investigating a pair of particularly... I don't know why I said pair. I saw PAR and my brain was just like, that's the one, that's the word. Are you investigating a particularly tricky case at the moment, Mr. Sholmes? And gobbledygook.
You could say that, I suppose.
Nothing more to add? That's not like you. What sort of case is it?
Shh. Quiet, Mr. Naruto. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening. You're acting very strangely, Hurley.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, usually. The more mysterious and complicated a case is, the better Hurley's mood. Ah. Is it really a case that's bothering you? Iris, please, you mustn't exercise your astute powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation. Remember what I always say. Put yourself in the shoes of the individual about whom you are making deductions.
You say that, do you? You, Mr. Sholmes?
Never mind. Once I've had a cup of tea, I must make my way at once to the crime scene.
I think I overwatered my new friend. I never, like every time I'm put in charge of plants, I never know how much to water them. I always wing it and I'm always wrong. That was a deep sigh. Alright. It says in the paper that Lord Van Zeeks was attacked. That's terrible. For him, probably. I mean, I love it. But I mean, if I was him, that would be terrible. That would be bad. That'd be a bad thing. That is a bad thing. Probably.
You know the legend of the Reaper of the Bailey, of course, don't you? Only too well, in fact.
Yes, Prosecutor Barrick Van Zeeks. Didn't they say that Barrick Van Zeeks is like an inside joke in like the writing team that they've never explained why he's called that? It's like one of the few names we have no idea what the actual meaning is. Instructions on the soil say to water the dirt until the pot is draining. It's a big ass fucking pot, so I didn't even go that far with it. I have no idea. need to refill that a lot this stream. They say that if the Reaper is the prosecutor in a case, there's no salvation for whoever's in the dock. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like there is an origin, but they won't tell people what it is, which is hilarious to me. It makes me so curious, even if the defendant is found not guilty. Once the Reaper has someone in his sights, one way or another, that person's time left on this earth will be short.
London's finest rogues always find ways around the law. They'll stop at nothing to secure an acquittal at a trial. Falsifying evidence, paying sham witnesses, threatening jurors, bribing judges. But even such devious tactics as these cannot save them from the hand of the Reaper. As you've experienced yourself, haven't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, I have seen the Reaper's retribution at work.
Many of these criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. If a leader among their fraternity is seen to have been taken by the Reaper, retaliation like this does occur. Really, the capital is a never-ending supply of such scoundrels.
So, do you mean Lord Van Zieks has been attacked like this before? This isn't the first time?
He's quite an accomplished combatant, you know. He doesn't take these attacks lying down. Although, it seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time.
My goodness, is he alright then? Is Lord Van Zieks hurt? Dead? Hopefully? I mean, not hopefully, the opposite of hopefully. I hope he's alive. It would be terrible if he were dead for him. It would be so bad. His surname Van Zieks may be a pun on the term Bunjikyusu, I think. Bunjikyusu, yeah. Meaning there's nothing more that can be done, it's all over. Van Zieks by itself can also be translated to of the sick in Dutch, possibly if unintentionally referencing the Grim Reaper's emergence as a psychopomp during the Black Plague. Such fits well with Van Zieks' God of Death persona. Barrack's first name is homonymous with Barak. Or Baroque? Oh, is that how it's pronounced? Baroque? Okay. A style of European architecture, music, and art of the 17th. Yeah, okay, I know what Baroque is. Huh. That's certainly possible. That's how I've been reading it, Baroque. If it was spelled correctly, there would be an E after the K. Then it would be Baroque. But as it is Barak. Or Barak. Barak Van Zieks.
My dear fellow, on earth do I know? Well, in the article here it says, as to what of Lord Van Zieks and his condition, all will be revealed in tomorrow's morning edition.
English bullshit anyway. It does have a couple rules, but it breaks a lot of them.
Ah, I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then.
No, I can't wait until tomorrow. Yeah, the rules are made up and the points are meaningless.
In that case, you shall have to inquire with somebody in the know.
But who? Lord Strongheart, perhaps.
Well, I must be leaving now.
Yes, understood. See you later, Mr. Sholmes.
Ha! You really are a shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow.
What?
You seek to put me off my guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you would be wasting your time.
The thought hadn't crossed my mind, but now I'm wondering where you're going.
Ha 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 ha! Well then, see you later indeed.
Want to know what else is meaningless? Life? Haha, got him. Listen to him, he's still laughing on his way out the door. Oh, this is new. Alright, sure.
Alright then, Runo, let's get going.
Oh, Iris, what are you wearing?
I've got change to go to the Great Exhibition. You're going to take me.
What? But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court.
Oh, well that sounds fun. Well, okay, you're going to take me there then. And don't make a move. Hands up.
Alright, fine, fuck. Just lower that weapon, would you?
Of course, and after the Supreme Court, then we'll go to see the Great Exhibition.
Alright. Oh, she's even got a custom sprite. They were really dead set on this weird-ass fucking hat. Sure.
I got this at Disneyland. It was extremely expensive for some fucking reason.
Mercedes nuts. I have to remember that one. 22nd of October. British Supreme Court Lord Chief Justice's office. I don't remember what Strongheart sounds like. I think he had a really similar voice to fucking Ben Zeeks. I'll try to make it different. Been about 6 months now since I was last here. But some things never change. Like the sense of foreboding I always seem to feel in this place. Alright, well, you seem to be fine. Doesn't seem to be bothering Iris at all, though. He's happily reading over there.
Oh, I love this place. I always find so many interesting books here.
Of course, I was forgetting that you've been here before. Time we came here 6 months ago. When Susato-san was given the news that she was to return to Japan. I did hear that Muskrat is renaming Twitter to X. What a stupid branding decision. I can't wait to see the site die. This might actually be the one that does it, which is good. I also like how the icon that he used was already copyrighted. And the copyright for a business called X is already held by Meta and Facebook. So this is just going to be a complete shit show from start to finish, and I can't wait. I understand you wish to speak with me. Oh, Lord Strongheart. I trust you've been keeping well? Let's see. Since you arrived and requested an audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. I've kept you waiting a while. My apologies. Oh no, not at all. I like nothing more than standing around staring into space. Renaming it after the most used feature of Postmusk Twitter, the close tab button. That's pretty funny, actually. Good to know. Good to know that doesn't appear to bother him at all. Feels like such raw sarcasm, but I know it's bootlicking instead. Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of London. He's the man who allowed me to start practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. You'd only savor the air for a moment in this grand office to understand his preeminent status. As you will be aware, the Great Exhibition of London is now underway at last. We're extremely busy as a result, policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, dealing with petty crime. I love the text color is implying that he just said that out loud to the man. Oh, was it? Was it actually? Oh, it doesn't keep the, oh no, it does. Yeah, he really did just say that out loud. Thanks for the compliment, I guess. And furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium. Oh, I've not heard about that. Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land. Forensic science is the future. The world must embrace it. What is your hair? You got a weird do. As we're the hosting nation, I have much to do, and it is my highest priority. Others must wait for my attention as a result, so be it. Well, it's nice to know where I stand. So, you wish to consult with me? Of course, I can very well imagine what this is about. Ah, well, thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord. His plans to call the streaming media hosting branch of this company is Xvideo. I don't think that is true. I think that was a satirical tweet because Xvideo is a porn site. I'm pretty sure that tweet that went around was fake. I want to be allowed to start working as a defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here today. But actually, there's something else playing on my mind as it happens. Someone suggesting a mascot, some kind of hamster. Not a bad idea. Yeah, the X-hamster, if you will.
Bruno, just take a deep breath and come out with it.
Now talk Twitter clips, X clips. If you use Twitter /X, which is cringe, as you know. I actually came here today to ask for your permission. Go on. 6 months ago, my right to work in court as a lawyer was revoked, and I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened, but the thing is, it made me understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rules of a foreign justice system. I switched social media sites again recently. I mean, if you use social media, it's also bad. But Twitter is especially bad. And I desperately want to have another go. Please, permit me to enter the court again. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? Here it comes. Media is the plural form of medium. Have fun knowing that. Oh, that is a fun fact. I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role. Well, that's true. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend on this study tour, not me. It should have been Kazuma. He was so determined to bring change to our own justice system at home. That was his calling. He also had some sort of secret mission, which I never fucking learned about. If that tragic accident hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here in this office now. Mr. Asogi was my best friend, you see. That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him. His calling, you say? Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true calling? He was a fucking pimp. We don't know shit about him. He kicked ass. He was awesome. You suck. Sorry? The mission with which that young law student was charged. What do you suppose it really was? What do you mean? Mission? It's not making any sense. Never mind. I've read all the reports you've submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been studiously obeying your revised instructions. Do you mean? As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain. Alright, now I can get a better shot of his hair. What is this? He's got like a bird's nest up there. Is that where the birds are coming from? In the background every time he does this? Sure would explain it. He was straight. Something you can never be, Ryunosuke. Dark part looks like the back of a swoop. Kinda. Thank you so much.
That's wonderful news, Runo.
In fact, I believe I have the perfect case to mark your comeback. A curious affair. You'll consider it, I hope. Yeah, of course. Please tell me more. Tell me more, tell me more. Goes up and then down and then back up to a point. Yeah, I'm not totally sure what's happening, but that's fine. You described it as a curious affair. Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. Are you aware that there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday? Oh, no.
Yes, I read about it. A professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment.
That guy was supposed to be German? Alright, well, keep that in mind for the voice I use.
Let me see, how is it described? Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, I think.
I found a picture of him from the side. Would you like to see it? Yeah, send that to me. Instantaneous kinesis, as in moving things with a click of the fingers?
That's right. It's just what my herbal blends need. A dash of devil-may-care. And opium. That's always the main ingredient. It's just opium. It's actually just opium.
Whatever the serious accident was exactly, it's clearly captured Iris's imagination. It's an unfortunate business. A large explosion engulfed the public experimentation stage and a man lost his life. A certain Mr. Odie Asman. Odie Asman? That's gotta be a pun, but it's not obvious to me. Odie Asman? Is it supposed to be a German pun? I don't know. An investor and a well-known figure in society. A large explosion.
A man died?
The man responsible for the experiment was Professor Albert Harebrain. Okay, well that's an obvious one. Harebrained. He was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow. Oh, odious man. I see. Yeah, that's a rough one. ODS man. It's like odious man if you pronounced it with like a Jamaican accent. It's like the only way it makes sense. His Japanese name means incredibly useless man. Wow. Brutal. On the charge of murder. What? Murder? If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet with him at the prison. There's very little time left for you to carry out any kind of investigation. Excuse me. The Great Exhibition. A scientific experiment gone wrong. And murder. Feel out of my depth before I've even started. Still.
We should go to the prison straight away then, and try to meet with this German professor. Don't you think?
Definitely. Can you go make eggs? Hell yeah. Let me know how they go. Yes. One more thing about the case. There's a connection with our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper. Oh, with Lord Manzeeks. Ow. All sorts of conferences. Oh, excuse me. Fuck, this heat is killing me. It's like I'm drowsy all the time, but I can't sleep. It's brutal. All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the Great Exhibition. And next month, the largest and most important of them all will take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium. It does seem as though the criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? Exactly.
Ah! Where do those birds keep coming from? They just... like, they always fly to the left. They go from right to left. But we never see them fly back from left to right. Are there an infinite supply of birds, or do they do like a loop? Which you can't see them. I must know.
London, the global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate. So it's imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible. Which is what's known as forensic science. Which is known as what's known which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it? Exactly, the future of policing.
Ah!
Regrettably, however, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to the adoption of forensic methods. Oh dear, that's alarming. Exactly, it's extremely alarming.
Ah!
Are you okay? Like, I'm just like raising my voice a little bit, and it's just like, is everything okay at home? Because like, if I shouldn't have to raise, like, if someone raises their voice and you immediately like flinch and get scared, that's bad, right? That's like the sign of abuse. If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure the numbers of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different to the current figures. And I can cite 12 solid arguments about 223 individual reasons to support my claim. Sorry? By way of apology for keeping you waiting earlier, I shall detail everyone now. What?
Oh, how fascinating.
It all began 15 years ago. I was... blacking out. Oh god! Game over. And that more or less sums up my feelings on the matter, in the simplest of terms, of course. Essentially, to formally establish a forensic investigation division within Scotland Yard. That is my mission. Oh, right. Yes, that's wonderful. Where am I? Exactly. Wonderful is precisely what it will be. I had dinner. What happened? It was murder. Somebody exploded at the exhibition, and they're calling it murder. You almost downloaded the Hatsune Miku Rhythm Gacha game. I feel like a rhythm game that is a gacha game wouldn't be bad. But I also don't know what would be the point of pulling on characters. Like, what would they add to a rhythm game? Iris isn't paying attention at all. She's got her nose in another book now. Not terrible. Bonuses to score. Well, I guess.
Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything useful?
More HP and healing. Yeah, but if you're good enough at a rhythm game, shouldn't you be able to just perfect it? So, like, it doesn't matter what character you have? I actually drifted off for the most part. He's surprisingly ardent about forensic science. Alright. Can I present the thing about Van Zieks here? Oops. In that case, just roll for the score characters. Fair enough. Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen this? The reports of the overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition. Of course. No, not that. The story on the back page. What story? The Reaper attacked. Ah, that. What a bitch. Getting run up on like a punk. Fuck him. You've enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not?
Poor Mr. Reaper. What happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he?
There's no need for concern. Lord Van Zieks would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you. Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know. Very well. If it interests you. It does. Strangely. Fortunately, Lord Van Zieks emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for that man. He's a very capable fighter. But that's incredible. They were armed with guns. Why was he attacked, though? Do we know? It's related to events that occurred a month ago. A leader of one of the capital's criminal organizations was indicted and prosecuted by Van Zieks. But the man was acquitted. I've no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes. Large sums of money? A deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seems. However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday. But you're not suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely? The victim's henchman certainly seemed to think so. He was a man by the name of Asman, Mr. Odie Asman. Did you say Asman? Assman? Fucking, I'm an Assman too, man. Hell yeah.
That's the man who died at the big explosion at the Great Exhibition.
Yes, known publicly as an investor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization. Unbelievable. I wonder, could I ask you some... Nope. Sorry. I wonder, can I ask you something, Lord Strongheart? Try me. Okay, what a weird way to respond to that. Why did you use Lord Van Zieks as a prosecutor? All the criminals who manage to get off in court then meet with the mysterious ends outside the courtroom. And fearful of that fate, they seek to strike at Lord Van Zieks first. I know there's no evidence that he actually is the Reaper in that sense, but still. Something's clearly going on here. I have Van Zieks work for the prosecution service for 2 reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. And secondly, any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trials are nothing to do with him. But that doesn't make sense. How can you explain the way so many have died if not by someone's hand? Odie Asman? Odor Asman? I don't know if you were here for it, but apparently it's for Odious Man. That's the pun they're trying to make. I'm calling him Assman. Van Zieks may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he is no killer. So he will continue to prosecute on behalf of the Crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course. Okay. Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement. I'm already 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleagues may be starting to fidget. 11 hours late? That's quite something. That meeting had already started when I arrived back here for this engagement with you. So lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man. Oh, you actually can see more of his haircut from this side here. Is this actually the picture you sent me, Toaster? Yeah, okay. Okay, so I kind of get it. It's like a pompadour, but with like a extra spike. Makes sense. Kinda. A name like Reaper, you think you'd have to be a killer? It's what we're saying. But apparently not. I'm sure it stopped for me during those 12 solid arguments and 223 reasons. Oh yes, where would I find Lord Van Zeeks now? I would assume he's at his office. Alright, I'll go and ask him about the attack in person. I want to get this straight from the horse's mouth. Away with you now. I'm leaving Professor Harebrain's defense entirely in your hands. Of course, yes. Thank you very much, my lord. Alright, I'm gonna go refill my water because I'm already out. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. And I got another drink. Those 223 reasons were the first and second game's hold-up moments? Possibly. Alright, so... let's go to... let's go see Van Zeeks first. I want to see what's in the prosecutor's office. Oh, of course. There's his wine. Of course he has a chessboard. If anything tells me that he's an ancestor of Edgeworth, it's this fucking chessboard. No fucking way that that's not an intentional thing. 22nd of October, prosecutor's office.
Oh, so this is the legendary Reaper's office.
Yes, it appears so.
It sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? What an amazingly deathly atmosphere.
Oh, is that? Who the fuck? That hooded figure was so still I hadn't noticed his or her presence. I wonder who it is. Is this Van Zieks? What are you doing here? Ah! Oh yeah, it is. He's as unwelcoming as I thought he'd be. Actually, maybe even more so. It's Greg! Oh, I'm glad to see you're well. I am. Cool! So, who's the person over by the wall being punished for something or other? No punishment is taking place here. Oh. And that's my apprentice, and he's sitting there of his own free will. I didn't know you had an apprentice. Must be the same person who was pictured in the newspaper. He's very able in combat, a requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage. Are you referring to the attack on the Reaper that was reported in the papers? The Reaper. I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself. Assuming that is such a fabled fiend genuinely inhabits our great courtrooms. Alright, well, let's talk about it. What Strongheart said that the assault last night was some sort of revenge attack. True, carried out by henchmen of Odie Asmon's criminal organization. The investigation meant their arrests were imminent. Presumably some hoped to kill me before that happened. Odie Asmon. He's always masqueraded as one of London's most powerful financiers, a global investor. But his enormous wealth came to him by underhand means, via his criminal activities. Looks like you could be related to Edgeworth's teacher, honestly. Oh, Von Karma? Maybe.
And he used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, didn't he? Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper.
But the man got his comeuppance in the end. Yesterday, in fact, in extraordinary circumstances. It was the most unusual cause of death. I know about that. It was super high voltage instantaneous kinesis gone wrong. Mr. Asmon died when the demonstration on the public experimentation stage ended in an enormous enormous explosion. Well, that's a mouthful. Correct. And you think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like that to happen, do you? Well, no, that does seem a little far-fetched. If this man really is the fabled Reaper, then he has to be innocent of this particular death at least. Oh, is someone else killing all of, Van Zieks' people? That could be interesting. Maybe that's the final case.
It's strange how this has worked out, isn't it, Runo? I mean, what with you taking on the Professor's defense for the trial tomorrow?
What? You're going to be defending him? Oh, yes, that's right. Though I barely know the man's name yet, to be honest. Albert. Albert Harebrain. That's right. Do you know him by any chance? Of course. He's a contemporary of mine. We were at university together. You're...
What?
Okay. Harebrained? Yep. Got it in one. I'd understood that Professor Harebrain was from Germany, though. Harebrain's from a respectable British family. After graduating from University of London, he moved to Germany to carry out research, that's all. So you were students together. I was in the Faculty of Law, of course, and he in Science, so our paths rarely crossed. But curiously, we got along, though I've not met him since my university days. I certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take this form. And with you, of all people, representing him. Only if I make it out of this office alive. He's actually been charged with murder, it seems. Yes, I know, because the prosecution will be handled by me. By you? But you made it sound as if you and the professor had been friends. We are friends, it's true.
Then why would you do this? If the Reaper is the prosecutor, there's nothing anyone can do to save him. He's doomed.
What's Lord Van Zeek's thinking? Alright. Yeah, conflict of interest does not exist in this world. It's not the first real rule of law they've broken. What do you mean by what you said before? If you'd like to know the Reaper's true identity, does that mean I'm a crown prosecutor and a mortal like any other? I'm no demigod.
But they've all died, haven't they? The people you've prosecuted, I mean. Whether or not the trial ended in a conviction or an acquittal.
Those I prosecute are the vilest wretches of our society. People who without question deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place without them. But that's not true of Mr. Natsume, for example. He wasn't a vile wretch at all.
Nor was Ginny. In fact, she's ever so hardworking now.
He's the Reaper because of his win rate? Yeah, pretty much. I can't deny that since I encountered you, things have been taken a turn. But the point is this. If any of those vile wretches that escaped justice subsequently died in mysterious circumstances, it was at the hand of their own kind. It's not my work. Lord Strongheart said the same. He believes you're not involved in any way.
But you're attacked by those ruffians because they believe it's true.
The fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Bailey, the number of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially.
Oh.
It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives. So he's like British Batman, except he's just a lawyer? Alright. Do you mean to say... I mean to say that if my pseudonym serves a useful purpose, I adopt it gladly, and with honor.
But it's putting you in danger. You could be killed.
British Daredevil, yeah. If that is my fate, let God decide. Lord Van Zeeks. Alright, well, good talk. Can I examine the man? / woman? No, I cannot. Alright. Let's leave. I don't know if this is a hint that says I'm supposed to stay here? Do I have to present something, maybe? I only have one thing to present, so... Lord Van Zeeks, about the article in this paper. Yes, it seems there was a reporter nearby when that little skirmish took place. Van Zeeks is to be a case itself? I think so as well. I think that's going to be the final case. Is the identity of this, the actual Reaper. My sticky notes aren't sticking because the glue is too hot. And it's very annoying. Wouldn't be the first time prosecutors gotten their own case. Actually, it happens a lot. I'm too hot? Oh, you're right. If only I was uglier, I would be more comfortable. Oh, God. I had no idea I'd been photographed. It was careless of me.
It looks as though it was taken after the people who attacked you had run away, though.
Edgeworth was prosecuted by Von Karma? Yeah, it was Edgeworth was prosecuted by Von Karma. Godot was... Spoilers for Ace Attorney, for anyone who cares, who wants to play those games and hasn't yet. Edgeworth was the subject of the last case of 1. Godot was the murderer in 3. In the last case of 3. Actually, the defense lawyer in Apollo Justice was the subject of 2 different trials. Black Will was part of the final case in Dual Destinies, and the prosecutor, the final prosecutor in Spirit of Justice was the murderer in that as well. Whip Lady did not get prosecuted. That was Francesca. Or Francisca, sorry. Francesca is from Thousand Year Door. No, Francisca never did anything untoward. She was just kind of an asshole. Yeah, Maya, or is it Mia? I think Mia is the one who dies, like, in the first game. Maya, I always forget, but I believe it's Maya who is your, like, helper for the original trilogy. Yeah, she got tried... Over the course of the series, she's been tried for murder, I think, 4 times. Once in the first game, once in the second game, again in the third game, And then I think again in Spirit of Justice, if I'm not mistaken. Ugh. Yikes. Girl can't catch a damn break? Yeah, no kidding. It's like her defining character trait is that she gets fucking accused of murder. Rest assured, the police have already apprehended every last one of them. But there's someone else fighting alongside you, it seems. And I think it's the same man who's sitting over there as we speak, isn't it? As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice. Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him. There we go. He's in my tutelage to become a prosecutor. So you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose. That's exactly what you could say, yeah. Fucking... What a brilliant deduction.
Ah, like you are to Hurley then, no?
I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with a great detective. He's currently compiling a report about last night's attack. It's the paper. Who would have thought a piece of paper would make people open up? That's how it goes sometimes. There's been dumber things you've had to present to make the plot progress. Fucking the Steel Samurai case comes to mind, where it's just like, present this fucking trading card to this random woman to progress the plot. It looks like he's wearing some kind of mask. On Lord Strongheart's orders. Nobody knows the man's face, or indeed his identity. Like some sort of phantom. But why would you agree to take on such a clearly suspicious individual? Anything like a Magatama yet? No, not in this game. There's no gimmick for this one so far. And we're on the third case, so I don't think they're gonna add one now. Which is odd, because there's been a gimmick in every single game, but I guess not this one. I guess maybe the gimmick is like the deduction parts with Sholmes. I guess that kind of counts. Lord Strongheart's orders again. He's not one for meaningless follies. There will be a good reason for his actions. I hope you're right. Can we see them now? Ooh, here we go. Wow! Jesus. I mean, I'm gonna be straight up, they look rad as hell. This is dope. But also, my god, that is edgy as hell. I can't wait to see what they look like underneath all that. Yeah, that mask looks cool. I also love how their eyes are totally black except for the irises. That's a really cool effect. It makes them look like an animal. Neat. It's Sholmes. God, I hope not. Ah! Can get a name at least? The task is complete. Good. In that case, you can collate all the briefs. Ooh, a bow? Is he Japanese? Or is he just very proper? We don't know. Nice to meet you? Question mark? Friendly. Speak, motherfucker! Back to work again. That was really strange, though. I've never met the man before. I didn't even know he existed. And yet, oh, he looked familiar. Somehow it didn't feel like our first encounter. Oh, God. Shit. So now who could it be? Who is it? What if it's Kazuma? What if Kazuma is alive? That seems impossible, and I don't think that's the case. I need to see Sholmes' chin again. I need to see them side by side. Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anybody from outside this office. Lord Strongheart has strictly forbidden it. What if it's Shamspear? I would commit suicide in-game. Oh, I see. Why are you so interested in my apprentice anyway? Oh, no, I mean... Sorry, I didn't mean to... Oh, he stood there so casually, yet with that flawless posture. couldn't be. Is it actually... Does, like, Kazuma have a twin brother? Is that the deal? I feel like it's related to Kazuma somehow. Time-traveling Phoenix, they feel familiar because they're ancestors or some shit. We haven't dealt with time travel yet. We came close in the DLC case for Spirit of Justice. Yes, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. Oh, what's that? I have to sneeze. Excuse me. That Nipponese man, is he faring well? Sorry? The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago, with the soup and the mustache and the jitters. Ah, Mr. Natsume, you mean?
I'm not sure he'd be very pleased to find out you identified him from that list, Runo.
He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post only the other day. I see. Well, I think we can end our discussion there, don't you? There's little time left before tomorrow's trial. I advise you to spend it investigating the case. Yes, thank you for the advice, and for the conversation. I can't believe he's asking after Sasaki-san, after a Nipponese. I'm not sure whether to feel happy about that or worried. Hey, Zero, want to hear something cool? Sure. What do you got for me? Got hit by a car yesterday. That's not cool at all. What the hell? What happened? Are you okay? Hopefully you're okay. I mean, you're typing, and so you're conscious at the very least. That's a good start.
I never imagined that Mr. Reaper would be friends with a mad scientist, did you? That's a turn up for the books.
A mad scientist? Ah, you mean Professor Harebrained. Sprained your right ankle really badly? Okay. That sucks, but could have been a lot worse. Jesus. I was turning left on my e-bike and got rammed into. Oh, fucking. This is twice now that people in my inner circle have been injured on e-bikes. Fucking nobody on Twitch. He was on vacation and he fucking fell off an e-bike and like broke his wrist and ankle or something. He was out for a while. Broke your glasses? Oh, that sucks. Fell off mine twice. Yeah, these fucking e-bikes are apparently very dangerous. They're I'm not getting glowing recommendations of them, let me tell you that. Scar on your forearm, or is it a big one or just a small one? Does it look cool? As long as it looks cool, you're fine. Looks like you fought a tiger? Hell yeah. Well, some pros and cons, at the very least. But yeah, glad you're alright. That's, getting hit by a car is like... It really can go the full spectrum of injuries, from like barely injured at all to almost dead. So, yeah, glad you're alright, man. Yes, it might be worth quizzing the professor about his relationship with Lord Van Zeeks, I think. Alright, let's do it. Something on that. Surprise me. You need a lawyer from these games, Zero? Yeah, you need a Phoenix Wright injury lawyer. 22nd of October, local prison, cell 11. The warden said cell 11. That's this one.
Oh, there's someone curled up in a ball in the back corner, look.
Thighs, ankles, feet, and shoulders are really sore right now. Yeah, I've had a couple tumbles on, off of like bikes and stuff. I used to dirt bike back when I was younger. And like I got tossed off the dirt bike a couple times. And like, it never hurts in the moment, but like the next day, like everything's locked up. I remember I got like tossed full over the handlebars, like one ride, and then the whole next day my entire body was sore. I was like, I felt fine at the time, but yeah, once you sleep, it just all acts up. What's his name again? Professor Albert Harebrained, wasn't it? Excuse me, Professor Harebrained. Oh boy, what's your accent gonna be? Is it just gonna be vague English? English accent? Sure. Who are you? I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a defense lawyer. A lawyer! Ah! Was it something I said? Wasn't he German? He's actually British. He just studied in Germany. Which is a shame. Because, a German accent would have been unique. A lawyer, you say? Well, would you be here about the experiment? Are you going to defend my hypothesis? Your hypothesis? Sorry, I don't... Yesterday's demonstration! That magnificent demonstration was an out-and-out success by anyone's calculations. But despite that, no one listens. No one believes in the science. When it's explained, they all leave at high velocity. Now's probably not a good time to mention that your zeal made my concentration leave for a while, too. Alright. You mentioned the demonstration yesterday. The papers have called it a spectacular failure. After all, a man died in the explosion, didn't he? Ah! Yes, you could interpret the results that way if you really wanted to. Well, I suppose in the strictest sense, the experiment was a failure, but at the same time, it was a great success. You've lost me. I saw it with my own eyes, right there in front of me. Mr. Asman was spontaneously disassembled into big fucking chunks. They sprayed all over me. At least I got to dry clean this before they fucking locked me up. With people in this case, I'd want some spectacular breakdowns. I'm hoping so. You rammed in my side, I flew 15 feet? Jesus. And you sprained your ankle? After getting launched? Made eye contact right before he rammed into me. I shit myself, I didn't think of so much when I got into the air. Got like 2 to 4 seconds of airtime. Fuck. Yeah, that's bad. I've gotten some hang time getting thrown off the dirt bike, but I don't think anything has launched me. It's mostly just like I took a jump or like fucked something up and got tossed up a bit. I land on my feet pretty efficiently, no kidding. Being young certainly helps. But goddamn. Mask Man's breakdown needs the removal of the mask. I'm thinking he's gonna be one of the people who breaks down. I'd be surprised if he wasn't. He just seems like the kind of guy who's gonna end up being a villain. I saw it with my own eyes. I already said this. Until then, everything was going exactly as my calculations had predicted. At that point, he should have been beamed to the Crystal Tower by instantaneous kinesis. Instead, he was beamed all over me. Ended on my right foot, but everything else was fucked. Also, the road rashes burned like motherfuckers. Oh, yeah. However, the machine exploded and Mr. Asman, in fact, perished. Yes, I can't deny that part of the experiment was a failure. So what you're really saying is, the large explosion that killed Mr. Asman was an accident, correct? But the bigwigs had you arrested on suspicion of murder. Your aunt sent you $100 to make you feel better? Oh, that's very nice of her. Fuck, I wish I got money if I got hurt. I was responsible for a man's death. That is the immutable truth here. And for that, I wish to be punished. At once. But... murder? Never in a million years. It was an accident. Simply an accident. I see. Charlie and I were talking this morning, you know. He said the situation would change completely depending on whether it was treated as an accident or murder. Want to know the worst part? What was that? How exactly? Well, if it really was an accident, then the professor's machine would be kept in protective custody. On what grounds? Ah, yes, it's newly established here in Britain. The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. Had one passed me by. The day before I made a joke of running into a car because my brakes were so bad. Next day I get rammed into myself. Ah, irony. But if the case is treated as murder, then they'll say my machine was the murder weapon, and they'll be able to pour over it as much as they like. If they examine it in detail, they'll find out how it's made, and then they'll be able to copy my idea. My precious hypothesis will be stolen. The machine must be protected from that at all costs. That's why it's imperative this whole incident is shown to have been an accident in tomorrow's trial. Ah, I see now. Alright. So in short, there was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition Showground yesterday. Also have no helmet, but if I had a helmet, I think I would have gotten brain damage because of the width of the helmet. That's not how helmets work. There's really no situation in which a helmet would give you brain damage where you wouldn't get brain damage if you didn't have one. That's just bullshit people say, but is factually untrue. If you would hit your head on the pavement hard enough without a helmet, you might be dead. So please wear a helmet. They are very important. So in short, there was a terrible... I read that already.
Yes! Or rather, no. The devil's in the details. Strictly speaking, there was a terrible explosion.
Sounds the same to me.
You were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, weren't you? How fascinating.
Helmet's really hard on the inside. It's almost like the concrete itself. Yeah, it probably would have hurt. Like, the inside of the helmet is not always soft. But the point is that the helmet absorbs the shock from hitting the pavement. So, if your head had hit the pavement and you didn't have a helmet, yeah, we might not be having this conversation. But that's why you should wear a helmet. You can literally just fall over, hit your head on the ground, and die. That's how easy it is to get fucking offed if you don't have head protection. Or we would have had a 5-year later, yeah. You could have been in a coma and then woken up. Or just never woke up at all. Locked-in syndrome is a fucking nightmare. If you know what that is. I read about it sometimes and I'm like, Jesus. I hope that never happens to me because that would be hell. Another reason to wear a helmet. Please, I know they look stupid. Nobody looks good in a helmet, especially bike helmets. Bike helmets are like the ugliest piece of fashion ever made. But fuck, wear them, please. It's like AIDS, pretty much. It's definitely not good. Just being locked in your body and having no control over it. And just slowly going insane. Yeah, not good. Not good at all.
Humans, like all matter, are made up of particles that are held together by electrical bonds. So it must be possible using a sufficiently high voltage to break those bonds and beam the particles through space. That's it in a nutshell. That's my idea, you see. That's my amazing hypothesis.
Gosh, that's unimaginably high-level science.
Oh, but dare to imagine it, dare to dream of such incredible technology. Just think, one moment I could be here in the cell, and the next, I could be at the Great Exhibition again.
Well, yes, that would be incredible.
And the next, in the mere blink of an eye, I could be at the Great Parisian Theatre, say. The possibilities are endless. The whole of our vast planet would be within reach.
No more hiding in wardrobes on rocky seas for 50 days.
I don't really see it like that.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, if you could travel anywhere in the world instantly, the planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? I think it would feel like it had shrunk. My word, that's exactly right. What are the implications? What does this mean? Oops, that's got Professor Bunnybrain really worried by the look of it.
Really, this is yet another case of just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose. You were so preoccupied with whether or not you could that you didn't think that whether or not you should. Little Jurassic Park reference. What a great movie.
The point is, my calculations are flawless. The science works. But without a practical demonstration, it means nothing. And that's always the fly in the ointment. Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money. Money that young scientists like you don't have. That's exactly it, yes. Hurley's always complaining about it. He says the government should invest more in science. Well, anyway, I bumped into him at the right time. I met the well-known investor, Mr. Asman.
The victim who died in yesterday's terrible accident, you mean? Okay. Anyway, let's talk about the Reaper now. I understand Lord Van Zeeks is a friend of yours from your university days.
Yes, that's right. He was studying law whilst I was studying science.
What was he like back then?
A good question. Unassuming, gentlemanly, an all-around nice fellow, really.
Sorry, I think you misheard me. I'm talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor, Barrick Van Zeeks. The racist guy, that guy, you know? The guy who hates Japanese people for no good reason? That guy? The racist guy? What was he like when he was at university?
Talk about a leading question, you know. As I said, an unassuming and extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he is the little darling of the Van Zieks family with all its great aristocratic origins. I didn't realize he had quite such noble blood. Little darling. Yeah, he's adorable. It was a bit of a shock when I came back to Britain and learnt what he'd become. The Reaper of the Bailey, no less.
Yes, that's right. Aristocracy is literally in his name. Baroque. I'm still calling him Barak because that's how it's spelled, but still.
I did hear, though, that there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after his graduation.
Really? What sort of event? I'm sorry, but I don't know anymore. I wasn't in the country at the time. I was in Germany already. Oh, yes, of course. If he's heard all about the Reaper, I really don't have the heart to tell him that Lord Van Zieks will be the prosecutor in court tomorrow. Interesting. I think that's going to come up in the final case. The full name of the man who died in yesterday's accident was Mr. Odie Asman, wasn't it? What exactly was your relationship with the man? He first visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago now. He said he wanted to invest in my immaculate hypothesis. I thanked my lucky stars. I see. So we hadn't really known each other until then.
Money for scientific research. I'm so envious.
As far as I was concerned, the man was an angel. Oh, really? An archangel, even.
He was prepared to fund a practical demonstration of my hypothesis for presentation at the Great Exhibition. And if that went well, I could expect additional financial support for my research from the British government. Mr. Asman provided me with money and an exceptional engineer. He produced a machine to my precise specifications. But then your dreams were blown to dust in one enormous explosion. As you can see, I owed everything to Mr. Asman. I would never have thought of taking the man's life.
Well, he seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying. Okay. So, Professor, let me just make absolutely sure I have understood you properly. The huge explosion that occurred yesterday, that was an accident, you're saying? You had no intent to harm the victim, who was in fact the sole investor in your work. Is that correct?
As correct as 2 squared is 4, I swear it. Yes, it's true that the man perished in a machine of my invention, but so I know that I'm far from blameless in all of this. But still, I would never use my discoveries, my inventions, to take a person's life. Not a centillion years. I'm a man of science, that's all I know. You have to believe me, please. Do you believe me? Do you believe in my hypothesis? Science is the pursuit of truth, you know. I've always believed that, all my life.
I'm afraid I don't know much about science, or your theories. But I do believe you, and I will fight to prove your innocence with all my might. I'm a man of the law, that's all I know. You have to believe me, please! Are you fucking mocking me, you dick? When I went to live in Germany after I graduated, I learned something very important. Nationality, class, lineage, none of that matters. As long as you try your hardest, you can achieve anything. Thank you for that, Professor. It's nice to meet a non-racist British person for once. And thank you in advance for defending me tomorrow in court. Alright, Bruno. It's time. Time to visit the Great Exhibition. Sorry? Well, that's where the incident happened, isn't it? Gun safety, don't point that at me, please. Yes, I suppose that's true. Time to investigate at last. Have you seen the new Fortnite update? Fucking of course not. I have no idea what's going on with Fortnite. He's not German, he just studied in Germany. He is British originally. Run some new multiplayer games? I don't really have any to play. The only one that I've been considering is Deep Rock Galactic with the Toaster and Waffle. "22nd of October, the Great Exhibition Grounds, foot of the Crystal Tower." I'm familiar with a very different Crystal Tower. The showgrounds are a little too big for my liking. We've been walking around in dense crowds for 2 hours now, and I felt myself swooning 3 times. There are a lot of people, aren't there? I've almost been trodden on 3 times too. Be careful, won't you, Iris? Don't let go of my hand. We finally made it through the throngs, though, by the look of it. Here we are underneath the public experimentation stage where the explosion happened yesterday. What's that? can hear voices from up on the stage. That's like an argument. Is that Gregson and Sholmes? It's probably Gregson and Sholmes. Oh, it's fucking Gina Lestrade. I didn't think you'd be coming back. Right, I've had it with you this time. I'm warning you. I'll arrest you in a minute. Oh yeah? Go on then, Spectre. Give it a shot. You ain't got no evidence and you know it. Wait. I know those voices. You got a cheeky little mouth on you, young lady, but I name the cells will teach you some manners. Just try it, I dare you. If you want that bag of chips ran down your throat, rub your... Yeah. Yoo-hoo! Grixie, what are you doing up there? Oh, fuck. Ah, shit. Ah! Ah! It's you! Here, you're here! Here you are! Here, you're here, your ladyship! How are you, your ladyship? I do hope you're well, your ladyship. Does that make her 3 times a lady? I'm not well at all. It's far too busy everywhere. I wanted to ride in a balloon, but there was a 3-hour queue. Unbelievable. I'll go have a word with him at once, your ladyship. They'll be flying high as a kite in no time once I pull some strings for you. Tobias Gregson, an inspector at Scotland Yard. Until recently, he was suspended from duty, but it would appear he's back in action now. He's actually quite well known, appearing as he does in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. And for that reason, he can't say a word wrong to the story's author, Iris. But there are limits, surely. Or there should be. Watch it, Sunshine. You said that all fucking out loud, so I heard that. So, sorry? Has he sent for a child? I mean, the child pays his mortgage, so yes. What gives then? Don't tell me you're on this case. Yes, I'm acting for the defense.
So we're here to investigate.
Okay, fair. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, GME, that's the situation, is it? Is it really that troubling? Is this Gina?
A measly 5 bob. Is that all you got? You're a lawyer, ain't you? You could stand to carry a bit more copper around in your pockets, Mr. Naruto.
He just acknowledged that all of that shit was said out loud. I think so. Even like the blue text, sometimes people read into that. So I think the blue text is just him saying it under his breath, and sometimes people still hear it. She's cute, but she's too British to be considered human. I'm also pretty sure she's an actual child, so like, careful, man. But hey, that's my last bit of spending money, that is. Never mind. Sorry to break it to you, but she's like 15.
You can have it back, but I'll have to charge you for all the bother. 3 bobs.
This is Gina Lestrade, a pickpocket, or diver, born and bred in the East End of London. And the case that led to my own suspension 6 months ago. This is the young girl I was defending in court. According to the wiki, she's 17, 18. That's on the borderline, so I'm calling it. She's underage.
What's your problem, Mayoto?
And taller than Waffle. That is funny.
Diver, pickpocket, what's with all the name calling? You want a bag of chips round down your throat and all, do you?
I thought you were proud to be a diver, Gina. You were just arguing with Inspector Gregson about it, weren't you? I assumed you'd been up to your usual tricks here at the showground.
I ain't no way to talk to a lady, Odo. Half a year's a long time. People can change. I'm an apprentice now, learning to be a Scotland Yard detective.
Oh, that's cool. Is she a descendant of, Is she an ancestor of, Emma Skye? From the Skye Sisters? That'd be funny. Yeah, everyone is taller than Waffle.
So you have to call me what everyone else does. It's Inspector Lestrade now.
Inspector? That badge is homemade, surely. And before she's Gumshoe? No way. Not a chance.
The Inspector part isn't entirely accurate. No one calls her that. For what it's worth, anyway. Investigating is off the cards for all of us. What's that supposed to mean?
Alright, well, I'll be back up top. You hold the fort down here, alright?
Right, sir.
This raises a lot of questions. It was 8 months ago now that I first encountered Gina in connection with a case I was working on. You fucking talking to yourself. At the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing, but then she got embroiled in a murder. I had a lot of time to think in prison. I realized I couldn't go on like I was. The diving weren't working out.
Oh, I'm so pleased to hear it, Ginny. Well done.
Yeah, so now I'm a contract killer. Just don't tell Gregson. Were you narrating this too? Stop talking. I know. So you went from being a pickpocket to a detective. You got it. Good, innit? Inspector Lestrade. Sounds like something out of a book, eh? Talk about a sea change. What the fuck is a sea change? Then there's Iris's old man to think about. Iris's father, you mean? That is what I said, yes. What? I promised her, didn't I? I said I'd get all the police forces around the world to pull out all the stops looking for him. Just a small promise, then. Nothing serious. Fucking airplane sweating gif.
Oh, Ginny, you're so sweet.
So anyway, that's how I come out. That's how come I had a go at the test for Scotland Yard. And the trouble is, I don't read so well, do I? Just a small problem. Nothing serious.
And that's when Hurley approached Gregson and asked for help. So the inspector said he'd take full responsibility for Ginny and made her a sort of apprentice.
A lot of apprentices in this game, huh? That was very magnanimous of Inspector Gregson, and brave.
Well, you know Hurley. He enjoys finding ways to make people do what he wants.
The great detective likes digging for dirt, in other words. So the long and the short of it is, if you got the questions about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade. Right then, Inspector... Actually, there's still a big mystery surrounding Gina, isn't there?
Ooh, what, Runo, what?
Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper. A trial in which she was found not guilty, and yet here she is still. Come on, you're not still on about that, are you? The Legend of the Reaper or whatever it's called? Cool, you don't have to worry, Otto. If I didn't half worry, there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of you left. It's like I told you before, innit? The Reaper's kind like him upstairs, so he knows what I'm like on the inside. That I ain't really done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong might be stretching a point. Fucking Gina's gonna die in this case. She's gonna get fucking crushed by falling debris. A balloon's gonna fall out of the sky and kill her.
What about Mr. Natsume in Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he?
Well, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper is more discerning than I thought.
Exactly. So I ain't worried. I'm totally fine.
Alright. Yeah, a piano. Inexplicably is gonna materialize 30 feet above her.
Cool, was that his word it was? The brainy bloke put a bunch of levers on his machine and suddenly it started billowing smoke. And it just went pop. I ain't seen a better experiment here yet.
Sorry?
You mean you saw it, Ginny? With your own eyes?
Yeah, of course. The boss is in charge here, ain't he? For keeping everything running smooth, I mean. The boss being Inspector Gregson, I suppose. That's going to take some getting used to. So all I have is that all I have to say is that I'm on duty and I can do whatever I want to.
Get this, I was up in one of them flying balloons when it happened, watching it from above. No, you're so lucky, Ginny. Maybe I should join Scotland Yard too.
Yeah, do it.
You know, I put the boss in his place already, right, Iris? You'd have no trouble at all. Then it's settled. When do I start?
No, you can't join Scotland Yard, Iris. You're 10. But for other reasons also, but mainly that you're 10.
We'll see. Anyway, what I don't understand is this. If the machine exploded so spectacularly, how can Professor Bunnybrain still be claiming that his experiment was a success?
Oh, right. Well, it was a success, in a way. It was? How can it have been? Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success. You might actually be right. This might actually be before child labor laws. Yeah, fucking go for it, Iris, then. Who cares? Like I said, it did sort of work. I mean, yeah, there was a load of smoke and all that whopping great bang. But what do you think they found the victim's body, eh? In the Crystal Tower over there.
What? In the tower? So instead of like disassembling him, it just fucking catapulted him into a building? Awesome. That's amazing. You can see for yourself, can't you? Up there above the scaffold. Oh, where are the glasses broken, you mean? Yeah, in case what the victim got into to start with. Really did get beamed through the air or whatever and landed all the way over there. So, you see, it did kind of work, didn't it? What? I don't believe it. I mean, I don't get the ins and outs of it, but anything's possible, right? With science. Oh, I tell you what, you can have this. Oh, you know what I really want to replay? I've had a real hankering for it. I want to replay Portal. After we finish Sonic Adventure, we might play Portal 1 and 2. The science comment just reminded me of that. Of like, fuck, I haven't played Portal 2 in so long. It's really good. I'll play Portal 1 first, but that won't take very long. Like, we can do that. I don't think Portal 1... I think you could beat it in like 8 hours, if that. I think it might even be like a one-stream affair. We'll see. Catapult me into a building. Mood. Oh, I'll tell you what, you can have this. It's a plan of the experiment they drew up at the yard. Are you sure? Yeah, go on. I had 3 bob off you before, so fair's fair. Yes, I didn't actually give that to you, did I? Experiment sketch. Okay. Just take a look at that real fast. Alright. Pretty straightforward. Excuse me. You can beat Portal 1 in 5 minutes? Is that the speedrun record? That doesn't surprise me. Where's my mouse? There it is. Current fastest time was 4 days ago. The next one was down... Next one down was 11 months. Damn. Somebody just beat it then. Something Inspector Gregson said before seemed a little strange. For what it's worth, anyway. Investigating is off the cards for all of us. 5:50 is the time to beat. Damn. Yes, not old Gregson ran off without explaining himself. Alright, the boss said no one's allowed to investigate that weird machine what blew up yesterday. Well, that's not fair. We're representing the defendant. In that case, could you at least tell us what you've learned from your investigations? No, you're not getting it. We ain't allowed to investigate neither. Why? What did the boss call them again? The Forensic Investigation Team, I think. Anyway, apart from them lot, no one's allowed to lay a finger on the scene. Did I say finger? I feel like I did. A finger on the scene. Bit funny, isn't it? Even Scotland Yard's own detectives can't investigate. Guess I've never heard something like that before. I thought I could have a gander on the quiet though, but the boss caught me at it. Probably had him give me an earful about it before from down here, didn't you? It's not bleeding fair. I think you were giving him as much of an earful back as I remember it. Yeah, well, sometimes I think it's all them chips what make him so stubborn. He's mostly potato. You could say something to him. Oh no, go on, see if you can get through to him. Up on the platform above us, is he? Where the machine that exploded is. We can try, can't we, Bruno? Gracie will listen to us. Well, we'll give it a shot. What is this on the floor here? Nope. Not what I wanted. Okay, here we go. Oh, look, what's this? A ripped up piece of cloth. It's not like any fabric I've seen before. It's very thick and stiff. Looks extremely durable. It's canvas, I think, with some sort of rubber backing. And the edges appear to be a bit charred as well. Maybe that means it had something to do with the explosion. Let's make a note of it while Ginny's mid-yawn. Okay. Good to know. There's also a fucking crossbow back here? What is this? Ah, it looks as though somebody dropped something behind the tree just here. Dropped or hid? What is this? Some part of the machine that exploded? Maybe. It could have fallen from the platform above in the blast, perhaps. What's going on here? Oh, nothing. I think I'll hang on to this, just in case. Yeah, that's for sure a crossbow. Come on. Alright, we have that. Doesn't look like there's anything else.
Let's see. Crank? Crank? Nope. Ah, there's some sort of lever here. Ooh. Jesus, wow, okay.
What is this?
It looks like a cross between a bow and a gun.
Do you...
You know what? It's like basically medieval times. It's fine. I think it's probably used for the same thing, too. Ah, there it is. Crossbow. Is there anything else on here? This groove here must be where the arrows are loaded, I suppose. Well, I was right. It's a sort of a bow with an automatic firing mechanism. This would be perfect for someone like me who catches his ear with the bowstring 2 times out of 3. In fact, if I had one of these, maybe I could have beaten Kazuma in Kyudo archery training. Guns were invented in 1000 BC in China. Crossbows have been recorded as early as 400 BC, also in China. Yeah, China did a lot of shit in advance of anyone else. But nobody knew about it. So, get fucked. Yeah, China learned how to kill people efficiently. That was also, I think, where the first batteries were found, weren't they? It was also in China? Introduced as early as 5th century in Europe, yeah. They should know, but they don't, because they're dumb, so fuck them. Looks like you wind this round in order to draw the drawstring back and create tension. You must be able to fire arrows with a huge amount of force using this device then. In fact, I would imagine it's far more accurate and powerful than a Japanese longbow. I really had no idea what I was picking up when I spotted this at the expedition grounds. I think that's about it. Oh, let me take a look at the scrap of paper too. Or cloth, not paper. Looks like layers of thick canvas with a thick rubber lining of sorts. I've never seen anything like it before. But applying Mr. Sholmes' methods, you might deduce it was a part of a raincoat worn by someone who really, really didn't want to get wet. They're from Japan, so they might actually not know. Yeah, I mean, everyone in those times was pretty sheltered knowledge-wise. There wasn't like a lot of formal education. Especially in Japan, when it came to things outside of Japan. And the charring must have occurred when the person was struck by lightning. Or maybe not. Alright, let's go up. Or not? Do I have to investigate the stairs? This platform must have been set up for the experiment, I suppose. It's very high up.
About 30 feet above the ground, apparently. That's what a policeman I just spoke to said.
Also false, Japan had crossbows since allow at least 200 to 300 AD. Okay. I don't really understand feet very well. We don't use them in Japan.
Oh yes, sorry. It's about 9 meters. But soon you'll have been in London a year, Bruno. It's time we got used to our measurements.
Yes, well, this thing is so tall, the spectators at the front would just have seen a wall and nothing else.
They probably thought that we'd secured the best spot to watch from, only to be disappointed.
There's a saying in Japan, the darkest spot is right under the lighthouse. I feel like it probably applies here. That's a good saying. The darkest spot is right under the lighthouse. These stairs obviously lead to the stage above. Did you go up there and investigate the exact spot where the experiment was being conducted? Yes, Imperial feet. (22nd of October), the Great Exhibition Grounds, experimentation stage. Yikes. Not looking too hot. So that's it, is it? The machine that blew up.
Oh, it must have been a magnificent explosion, and I've seen my fair share.
You've seen like things like this before, you mean?
Of course, Hurley's always doing experiments that end in a bang. In fact, in his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry.
Ah, that might explain the smell of burning that frequently comes wafting up the stairs.
One time, it made something that exploded with such force it took the roof off the building. I wish you'd been there to see it, Runo.
Not to get too excited about that, given that I now live in the roof.
Well, anyway, that's enough about that. It's time to investigate with this gun. What the fuck is Gregson? I'll kill him.
Ah, look, Inspector Gregson is over there. He seems to be deep in thought about something, whilst eyeing up the machine carefully.
Really? He just looks confused to me.
Hey, Gregson. Ripped itself apart magnificently, didn't it?
Magnificently. And mercilessly.
So someone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and then beamed through the air. I think this missed a word. I think it should be is then beamed through the air. Yeah, that's incorrect.
Yes, beamed. Not blasted. That's the point.
Yes, that part's crucial, really. To be disassembled and be beamed? Oh no, you're right, you're right. Reading that again. Be disassembled and then beamed through the air. Yeah. Is something like that even possible, though, Iris?
Oh, Runo, I'm just a child. How should I know?
A child when it suits you, you mean?
From what I can tell, I think if you were to pull this lever here...
Stop! Don't touch that!
Ahaha, that was practically instantaneous kinesis the way you flew over just now, Gregsy.
Please, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you, but I can't let you touch anything up here. Stop playing Deep Rock Collective. I had to listen for 2 weeks, now we're already have 48 hours in it. Wow. Hey, if you'd like it, fucking play it.
So sorry, you can have some of my latest special blend to make up for it.
Ah, wonderful. This stuff really is wonderful. It's just like old times, this is. Not as much as Monster Hunter Rise in its first week. Oh, I mean, you know, nothing compares to Monster Hunter. We're representing Professor Harebrained in court tomorrow, Inspector. We should be allowed to examine the scene. Ah, listen, Sunshine, even I'm not allowed to touch anything up here. It's that blasted special dispensation for scientific equipment act to blame. It's driving me potty. You have to shit yourself? Yes! Oh yes, that special dispensation. The professor mentioned that too. More red tape's all we need. I don't know what the government thinks it's playing at sometimes.
But we're allowed to just look, aren't we?
Eh?
Surely that's all right, isn't it, Gregsy?
Of course, your ladyship. Anything you say, your ladyship. But please don't get your dirty hands dirty, will ya?
Don't worry. We wouldn't dream of touching anything, would we, Runo?
Well, he knows how to get what she wants. Well, alright then. Let's take a look. It's not in a book. It's fucking exploded. Considering how badly damaged everything is, Professor Harebrained was lucky to escape unscathed, I'd say. Should have a good look around the machine while we can, I think. Touch anything and I'll make sure I kill you before I get strung on myself, you hear? I won't touch a thing, I promise. So please, spare a thought for your digestion. Just that reading rainbow it was. Anyway, do you really think that this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims? He asks, looking totally incredulous. Give it a rest, Sunshine. We were allowed to examine all this bleeding scrap metal, but perhaps we could answer that question. Oh, we can't, can we?
Because of the annoying rules, you mean?
Exactly, the annoying, obstructed, flaming rules. Oh, look at the base of the machine there.
Oh yes, there's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh.
It's a screwdriver, I think.
Oh, isn't it a lovely one? The handle's in the shape of a capital letter A.
It is? Oh, yes, you're right. What's the matter with you? Don't touch anything, I said. Touch anything and I'll sure I'll kill you before I get strung up myself, I said. Yes, I understand. Sorry. Only touched it a teeny weeny bit. Make my brain go back to things I haven't thought of in centuries. That's what it'll do.
But Grexy, I'm very curious about the screwdriver. Really very, very curious.
Of course, your ladyship. You're so clever, your ladyship. Fancy spotting something like this. But I'm afraid I can't let you have it.
But Bruno found it first.
I assure you, I'll investigate it thoroughly. He's gone off with it.
That was very mean. I'm afraid Inspector Gregson is going to make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now.
Poor Gregsy. That is slander. Is that it? Oh, hello. There are all sorts of strange buildings here in the Great Exhibition Grounds, aren't there? I seem to remember something similar being exhibited in Japan one time.
Oh, in your country, Bruno, I do wish I could go and see it. I present a particularly steely samurai with... Motherfucker!
They couldn't fucking help themselves, could they? Just had to make another Steel Samurai reference. Fucking 5 wasn't enough. They had to get another one in. Bastards. God damn it.
I'd present a particularly steely samurai with the present of one of Hurley's stories I'd written especially. And see if I couldn't get Hurley into a jam against some Baritsu master ninjas.
Baritsu? You might not find as many of those sorts of people around as you think.
Oh, well that's dull.
Ooh, but I do know a prosecutor with a Chonmage top knot I could introduce you to.
A Chonmage? Really? Do you think I could have my picture taken with him? Do you?
Assuming he's recovered from the trim Kazuma gave him a year ago, yes. Baritsu, yeah, I don't know what that is. Alright, oh, there's one. What is that gigantic thing over there? It looks like an enormous water wheel.
Oh, that's a Ferris wheel. There'll be people riding inside those little cabins you can see.
Why?
Well, they rotate nice and slowly, so it's a wonderful way to see the surrounding scenery.
Wait, it's turning? But it looks completely still.
Yes, that's because it's turning so slowly. One complete revolution takes about half an hour.
If you were mad enough to get in one, it would be more fun to whiz around fast, don't you think?
I feel as though you might have just invented a new sort of ride there, Bruno.
Throw this child out a window. She's hit or miss. Is that really it? Ah, okay, there's far less. Oh, here we go. Now we're talking. That amazing horn-shaped device is pointing towards the Crystal Tower. I guess they never miss. I suppose once people are disassembled by the machine, they're shot out of that thing to wherever they're going.
Don't think it was supposed to shoot anything, Bruno. It was set up to beam people to the Crystal Tower, where they'd be reconstructed in their original form.
Well, I don't like the look of it. If it was as amazing as it looks, the accident wouldn't have happened in the first place, of course.
I suppose that's true, yes.
My brain always does that whenever someone says hit or miss. I guess they never miss. Is that a reference to something? I'm not familiar.
Out the blue.
Good? Alright. I ask no further questions. I've staved off brain rot for another day. So those are people carrying balloons dangling silently in the skies over London. I always thought the day would come when humans would discover how to fly. Oh, was it a Vine? I've never watched many Vines. I don't do social media in general. I've seen a couple though, the popular ones. But I never imagined it would involve them being suspended from colorful floating Tamari handbells.
I'm sure it must feel amazing being up there among the clouds. Let's take a ride together, Uno, please.
If I'm being perfectly honest, I would like to try it, but without a cast iron guarantee that the thing won't plummet to the ground, I'm too scared.
Oh, well, in that case, I shall tell you what Hurley said. It's physically impossible for a flying balloon to plummet to the ground, as long as it doesn't explode.
It was TikTok, apparently? Oh. Yes, call me crazy, but I think that exploding part might play on my mind a little. Alright. I guess that's it. Do I have to present something here? I guess I could present this. These things. I've seen these again. Ugh. Damn, this nose. And the shit that gets caught in it. It's 2018. Oh, wow. Alright. Oops. Okay, this is nothing. Okay. What about this? Alright, cool. What about this? Sweet! How about this? Oh, here we go. Inspector, have you read this paper? Yeah, 2 unwelcome blasts back to back. One of this one of the expedition and the Reaper getting attacked. I know, terrible news to wake up to, wasn't it? I tried to pretend I hadn't read it and turned over for another 40 winks. Thanks to that, I was up late and I was laid up and got a roasting from the super? Or the supervisor? Hang on. Some mornings are like that, aren't they? Cool. Is it still telling me to move somewhere? Oh, maybe I have to present to Gina. That's right. Just want to make sure there's nothing else I missed here. Reading a romance manga recently. Oh, okay. Glad you're enjoying it. How do I go back down? It's its own... Hang on. Let me try and get back down to the ground. What is this fucking stance? Who stands like this? Just fucking completely rigid in the background. Vampires? Alright, you know what, you're right. Alright, let's get back down to the floor here. I don't know how you're supposed to do that normally, but whatever. Is villain monologue pose? Fair enough. Alright, this is also nothing. How about this? Oops. There might be something down here that I missed examining. Okay. What about this? Okay. Let's take a look around. Need to stop reading fluffy manga. It rots my brain. You got a lot of brain rot going around. Oh, I probably missed this. Crystal Tower. It's certainly an apt name. It's built to be the focal point of the exhibition. And it definitely is, being so tall and with all that glass. Can't imagine a building like this ever being erected in Japan. Mainly because it's made out of metal, and we don't have any of that in Japan.
And there are lots of exhibits inside the tower as well, apparently. Of course, there's an observation deck, but there's also an art gallery, a zoo, and a museum. But I heard you have to queue for 3 hours just to get through the doors.
Well, at the moment, the shattered glass from the failed experiment may well be the biggest draw.
And thanks to that accident, the whole tower is shut.
Suddenly, it's not the Crystal Tower anymore, but the Crystal Glass Tower. Or the Crystal Glass Shower.
Apparently, everyone's taking to the skies now to look down on the disaster area from above instead.
Need to read something manly because I'm totally a masculine, manly man, so I gotta read something with guns and violence or something? No, you're not. You're fucking effeminate as fuck. What the hell are you talking about? You're like one of the least manly men I know. But if you're looking for recommendations, read Monster's a good one. Very good drama. Vinland Saga is good. Holy Land, one of my favorites. Yeah.
There's a 3-hour queue to open a balloon now.
Londoners must be very patient people. Only not walking the line between trans and not that. I've been meaning to ask you for a while now, but what are those funny oh, is this another fucking thing about hot air balloons? Alright, I'm not gonna read this. I get the gist. What the fuck am I talking about here? There has not been a ladder debate yet. I haven't even seen one. I don't think there was one in the last game either, which is sad. Yeah, fake Ace Attorney game, you're right. What am I missing here? Do I have to investigate the hole specifically? Oh yeah, I did. I meant to do that, but I clicked on the wrong thing. That's where the cove ended up after these instant kinesis, or whatever they call it, did, of course. And yet they're calling the experiment a success.
What's the wooden scaffold there for?
A couples, our lads, set that up after the incident happened. You get bottled now, I think. Dunno, really. Didn't you help to erect the scaffold then? Nah, lookout duty's more my thing. Wandering around the exhibition, keeping a lookout for fun stuff. Mind Gregson doesn't hear you saying that, or he'll give you the boot. It's incredible though, isn't it? I mean, could the victim really have bridged that gap by some sort of invisible kinesis? This game's writing has used the word kinesis more than anything I've ever seen. It's like such a esoteric word. Okay. That didn't really open up anything. Did I miss a, conversation? Oh, did I talk to, Gregson? I think I might have forgotten to talk to Gregson. I think I went right to investigation. Yep. Dummy. Using high voltage electricity to somehow disassemble a man's body, and then beam him across to the Crystal Tower. It's an extraordinary thing to attempt, especially in public. True, it was by far the most unusual of the experiments planned for the exhibition, mind. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised it was allowed. Carrying out something so dangerous with so many spectators present, I mean. The government's doing anything it can to promote new science and technology at the moment. They're more worried about being ahead of the game than their hodgepodge of public safety infringements. If they can be the first to deliver some new technology, develop some new technology, and makes Britain more powerful in the future, you see? Yes, I suppose that's true in a way. So the powers that be are placing a heavy emphasis on scientists' rights at the moment.
What sort of rights?
They're making it so any theories the brains have remain their legal property, as it were. Oh, the start of IP law. Right through developing it into a practical idea and even going into production. Which is the infuriating reason coppers aren't allowed to touch this crime scene. Because the new highfalutin Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act forbids it. Ah, I see now.
The only people with permission to investigate here are from some brand new department at the yard. The forensic investigation team is it's called. We've been relegated to keeping guard. A forensic investigation team. Any old fool can see this heap of scrap metal was a sham to begin with. But just because it says scientific equipment on the paperwork, we can't do a flaming thing with it. Poor Grexy is very het up, isn't he? Het up? What the fuck? I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. That's some fucking English slang. Disgusting. Remind me again, what's this new legal act that means we're not allowed to touch the scene here? We've been over this, I feel like, 4 fucking times now. I haven't me at it, Sunshine. It's the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. Yes. I think Hurley mentioned that recently, with a weird twinkle in his eyes, I remember. Angry and agitated. Oh. Makes sense, contact-wise. I'm sure he did, your ladyship. I'm sure he did. Perhaps especially for the this great expedition he was. Exhibition. I keep saying expedition. All scientists have to do is present their ideas or inventions to some suits in the civil service. And if it gets rubber stamped, it's a guarantee of rights to maintain the invention's confidentiality. What does that really mean? Think about it. Think of all the world-changing new inventions on display every day at this exhibition. Although a good half of them are a load of cobblers, if you ask me, put forward by shammers like yourself. Thanks for that. What a dick. Oh, I love how absurd some of the inventions here are. It's all so fun. Yes, catboys and catgirls are illegal. Punishable by death. It might be fun for you, but a member of the forces is to be present at every single demonstration. You imagine, eh? Hang science, that's what I say. Oh, I don't think so. That sounds like my dream job. You shouldn't think otherwise after spending a day guarding all these shammers' bogus contraptions. But if they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There'd be no point. Yeah, well, there is a point, sadly. Sorry? Thanks to another of our government's bright ideas. If any theory or invention is deemed to show potential, the government hands out a research grant. Scientists get funding. Exactly, and that's what they're all after these shammers coming from far and wide to clog up Hyde Park. And who has to keep them all safe, eh? Who has to smile politely and welcome them? Us coppers, that's who. So you can see why I say it now, can't you? Hang science, hang it! Oh, maybe I can see your point. Alright. Apparently Professor Harebrained lives and works in Germany now, conducting his research. That's right, came back to Britain especially for the Great Exhibition, as I understand it. Probably after one of the government's research grants. Huh. Actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today. About his time in further education. Turns out he was at university with someone we both know. Lord Van Zieks. Yeah, what's that? That's news to me. But if Van Zieks means the prosecution, then as the accused, the professor's fate is sealed. Is the Reaper will get him one way or another? Blimey, that man's beyond me. I don't know what goes on in that head of his. Talking to Van Zieks, this morning's paper ran the story of him being attacked. Read that? Oh yes, but Mr. Reaper's completely fine. Nothing to worry about. Yes, right. Glad to hear it. Still the Reaper, huh? How long's that business gonna keep up, I wonder? The victim of this case, the investor, Mr. Asman. He was another of the Reaper's victims, or so I heard. Lord Barrick Van Zieks is a top-class prosecutor, but even he can't always push the right verdict through. Sometimes justice can't win. Yes, I've heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper of the Bailey came about, isn't it? Obviously, Scotland Yard suspected Van Zieks initially. We all assumed he was taking matters into his own hands if he failed to seal the deal in court. Although the man himself denies that charge. Well, we've done a very thorough investigation, and the conclusion we reached is that Lord Van Zieks is in no way related to the deaths of those people outside the courtroom. There's no question to my mind. I'd stake my reputation on it, I would. But if that's true, then how do you explain it? All those defendants couldn't have just coincidentally died if no one killed them. I know that, but I can't explain it. It's a mystery after all, isn't it? That's the whole point of the Reaper. Professor Harebrained mentioned something else. He said that at university, Lord Van Zieks was a totally different person, easygoing and kind. Did you know people die if they are killed? I didn't know that, actually.
You what? He said that it was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. You have any idea what it was? No clue. Really? Look, I got my hands full watching over this frustrating crime scene. Why don't you go and make a nuisance of yourself elsewhere, eh? I think he does know. Jeez, it's almost 11 o'clock. This chapter's going really long. Right, are you done here, Mr. Naruhodo? Mind you, I did start late, so that's also probably part of it. Sorry? Thinks he killed his dad in an elevator. Isn't it about time you were leaving? Or rather, it is about time you were leaving. That lot are up here now. Are we going to see some characters on the forensics team?
That lot.
A forensic investigation team. They'll be giving me the heave-ho in a minute, too.
Oh dear, poor Gracie. Here, have another cup of my special blend to cheer you up.
Oh god, that opium really hits the spot. Ah, that hit the spot. Yep, hits it every time. Oh god. Oh, I can't live without it. Fuck. Oh, I came. Well, at least I've seen the scene with my very own eyes. I added a word, it's fine. Looks like this is as far as we're going to get with our investigations here, at least. Me drinking Gamer Boy bathwater.
I've been thinking. Hurley might know something, mightn't he?
About what?
About Mr. Reaper.
About what happened to Lord Van Zeeks, you mean? Because it sounds like something very significant occurred after he graduated from university. Something that completely changed his life. Maybe, but I have no idea where to find Mr. Sholmes at the moment. He's in the middle of some big case, isn't he?
Here, this is what you need.
What's this? Some kind of entrance ticket. Madame Tussauds. Is it supposed to mean something to me?
You don't know it? It's the most popular attraction in London at the moment. It's very close to Baker Street, actually. We could go now if you like.
No, we don't have time for visiting attractions today, Iris. We have a big trial tomorrow.
But that's where Hurley is.
What? At this popular London attraction? Does he have a day job?
Yes.
How is it that you know where he is?
Hurley told me, but he told me to keep it a secret from you, Bruno.
Madame Tussauds. Let's see how it could be related to the case we're investigating here, but then, stranger things have happened. And when they happen, Mr. Sholmes is usually at the heart of them. Alright. I'm actually going to save here, because it is 11 o'clock. I think we'll start Sonic Adventure here. So, no perfect endpoint this time around, but that's fine. Let me drop a save. Alright, cool. YouTube, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.